This week, political outsiders continue to dominate the 2016 GOP race for the White House. Trump, Fiorina, and Carson dominating the post-debate conversation and the campaign trail. With me now is someone who knows exactly what it's like to be a political outsider, 2012 GOP primary presidential candidate and businessman, Herman Cain. Good evening.
Hello, Judge Pirro. Happy to be with you.
Well, it's good to have you here. 4 years ago, you were on that stage, one of the presidential contenders. What were your thoughts as you watched that debate the other night?
Well, first, I would agree with Governor Huckabee, who was on your show earlier, when he said that the questions were not substantive enough. And I heard that from a lot of the callers to my radio show. Secondly, my overall impression was out of the 11 people on the stage, there were 10 winners because each of them had their moment and they all demonstrated what I consider to be the most important thing about being president. Number one, did they show leadership qualities? I think 10 out of 11 did. And number two, did they show a grasp of what the issues are and how to solve problems? Experience foreign policy-wise is not something that somebody is going to have until they have access to all of the information that the president gets. So when your previous guest was talking about, well, they don't have any foreign policy experience, well, the current president didn't have any foreign policy experience, but he also is not a leader. I'm looking for a leader in the next president of the United States.
Herman, I gotta, you said 10 out of 11, 10 out of 11. You said it twice. Who's that one?
Senator Rand Paul, unfortunately, does not impress me like the other 10 impress me. It's too early to pick any one particular one that I would vote for, but it's not too early to start narrowing the field down to the 10 that I believe would be a good commander-in-chief.
All right. Now, you, as a front runner 4 years ago, you're a businessman, head of a huge pizza chain. Now we've got a front runner, Donald Trump, also a businessman, an outsider like you. But he and Carly Fiorina going back and forth on their business experience, does that matter?
No, it does not. And that was how CNN was sort of orchestrating it. People can read about their backgrounds by going to their websites. I would have preferred more questions about what would you replace the tax code with? How would you get control of our spiraling national debt? How much would you rebuild our military? Substantive things. So too much of it was spent with that many candidates on the stage not talking about important matters. When Mike Huckabee finally said something about the fair tax, I was jumping up and down and saying, hip, hip, hooray, we're talking about something important, rather than he said, she said, she said, he said.
Hopefully the next debate will be more substantive, but you know, initially you were the front runner. Donald Trump right now is a front runner. What does any front runner need to do to maintain that, or to get that longevity to maintain that front runner status?
In my case, if I had not been falsely, viciously attacked, I would have still been in the race for a long time and could have very well have gotten the nomination. But you see, the opposition or whoever was behind it did just enough to plant a seed of doubt in the court of public opinion. And when some doubt is in the court of public opinion, that's when your contributions go down and you don't have the money to sustain your campaign. Well, Donald Trump doesn't have that problem. And people are already starting to dig up old things that he said to use against him. Well, he's going to have to do a couple of things. Number one, not focus on that. Number two, not continue with the personal assaults, but number three, start talking about substantive issues, and the rest of them will follow him.
Herman Cain, good to talk with you. Yes or no? You glad you're out of politics? Yes or no?
I'm glad to be.
Fast. Go. You can't answer it, can you? All right. You coming back, Herman?
No, I can tell you that, no.
All right.
So I'm glad to be out.
Thank you. All right.